No. I this morning broken into just a couple of sections, lads, right? First one, warm-up, right? We're going to keep the warm-up similar enough to how we did last week, right? Purely because it's the best way to get them all moving, to get them all going, okay? We're then going to go through dynamic flexibility in a warm-up, okay? Just to show you the difference between a dynamic warm-up and a static cool-down, okay? But also, as we go through it, I'll show you how we can explain to the lads the relevance of each exercise, right? We're going to then look at mechanics, right? So I have some stuff set up here where mechanics of running, just to see where they're at, right? We'll try and use a bit of intervention then from the point of view of ladders and stuff to maybe educate them a bit on footwork, and hopefully when we go back to the drills we just did, we should see an improvement to say, right, the drill I was doing in the ladder there, that's going to help me in this situation, to turn, to spin, to step, whichever we're going to do, right? We'll progress it on then with a few agility drills. We'll start looking at the difference between open and closed drills, all right? Get a bit of competitiveness into the lads, and then we're just going to look briefly at how we can implement a little bit of strength work on the pitch. Okay, so there's a couple of things set up, and hopefully they won't be too knackered by the end of it, right? So now, first things first, you can throw down the hurlers there, lads, because we're just going to get warmed up quick. Now, 2 yellow cones here, and see the 2 top yellow cones up there. You have to stay inside that square, so run around wherever you want. Okay, very similar to last week, we're just going to get them moving. Okay? You don't have to stay together. No, will you run wherever you want? No, come on, move around. Right? So again, something like this, and I said it last week, it's a great way just to get everyone moving straight away. If you come out early on Sunday morning, Saturday morning, whatever it is, the whole anthem are moving straight away. Okay? 2. Get into twos. Get into twos. Ah, you left. It was 2 star jumps. Go. Lovely. Move around again. You can start picking up the pace slightly. Now, when I call numbers this time, you're not going to be left on your own, eh? Oh, I promise. 4. Ah, you didn't react and get there. Give us 4 star jumps. 1. Everyone else move around again. Okay, obviously when we 5, we're limited to what numbers we can call, right? 1. Aye, why are you looking for anyone else? You're on your own. Go on, move again. 3. Ah, okay, 3 star jumps, 2 again. Okay, just keep moving around there, lads, when I'm talking. You'll be grand, you take the energy. No, just a couple of, just one major thing that we've seen here. Nothing to do with physical development point of view or anything like that. What is there none of?
Alternative movements?
No ball, I know that, but from... Nah, talking. Right? So when I call a number, the first thing you should do is, right, if it's 2, I don't want to be left on my own. Johnny! Whereas there's trying to get it more of them with their hands, right? So lads, start talking to each other now, right? 2! Wow! Right, they got 2 heaves. Ah, look, good man, he stepped up to the 2 star jumps nice and quick. Are you warm?
Yeah.
Right, lovely. Now, so what we're going to do now is, we're going to progress on and just talk about dynamic stretching, okay? So the first stretch we're going to do, and we're going to stay on our toes as we do. We'll say it again, lads, you can move around wherever you want inside the square, right? But look, you're flat knee first. Right, we'll stay on our toes. First stretch, the legs straight out in front, put your heel on the ground, and you're just going to sit your arse back into it, okay? Just hold for maybe 2 or 3, and then we're going to move on again, right? And there's no reason why you can't give a little bit of jog on, give a bit of a skip out, and go back into it again, nice and fast. But we have to stay on our toes in between each stretch, okay? So go. What we're doing there is we're hitting the top of the calf, coming into the hamstring. Okay, so when we leave our toe up to the side, you really feel it on the top of your calf and in the back of your knee coming into your hamstring. Okay? Straight leg, and something else that I would advise you to hammer over the leg. The first thing they do when they go into this position, they go. And they touch their toe. Right? They get a far better stretch if they keep the upper body up They'll just sit their ass back into it. And if you want to try it yourselves there, you'll see the difference. Okay, so again what we do, move around, but this time, forget about the stretch, vary up your movement now, okay, get a bit of a skip, get a bit of a run, okay, vary it up as we move around. Okay, we're going to progress on to the next stretch, nice and fast, keep your foot flat on the floor, exact same thing, foot flat on the floor, you'll be able to get a bit lower because we're going higher up your hamstring, flat on the floor, you just go on, and be able to stick your arse out there, let's do that. Okay, so same thing again, now we're just moving higher up the hamstring, getting towards the top, and towards your arse, flat on the floor, stick back in. Nice and fast again, same again, keep the movement in between. Right, and the reason why we're only holding it for 2 or 3 seconds, again, the muscles will only, we're only going to ask them to contract for that space of time in a game. Okay, so if we're sprinting, it's constantly contracting, okay, releasing, contracting, releasing. So we want to replicate that when we're stretching to get the muscles ready for the movements we're going to make. Okay, same again, move around, go on, move around. We can start increasing the pace now. Slightly, go on around the circle now, you'll be dizzy. Keep changing direction. Okay, next one we're going to get to our quads down the front of the leg, but we're going to keep the hamstrings entertained a small bit. Little bit of a kick and catch. Okay, little bit of a kick and catch. Right, so now, lads, just watch me. Right, kick, catch, and move on. Okay, kick, catch, move on. You see it? Don't be afraid to catch it. Same hand, same leg. Right, what else are we bringing in here now straight away from a fundamental movement point of view? Balance. Right, you'll be surprised now, lads, you'll go. Right? So make sure, lads, make sure that we hold it long enough to get a stretch and then jog on again. Right, a couple of cues. Obviously, look, the more we do that straight away when we say, right, lads, kick and catch, they'll know kick and catch, right? We can progress it on that. A lot of lads will kick and catch like this, okay, where their arse is hanging out and their knee is up and they're not getting any stretch, right? So the next cue on from that is to push the hips forward.
With the other hand? You get a different stretch with the other hand?
Well, you get it, but see what will end up happening is, you'd be surprised how many fellas will start ripping their ankle across.
Yeah.
Okay? And it turns into your quad not being stretched in a straight line.
Yeah.
It's quite like there's no, I can't feel any stretch there now, whereas you catch that, you push your hips. Right, so now lads, the next couple of stretches, on those ones, only 2 on each side. When you catch your leg, push your hips forward as much as you can. Go! Just 2 on each leg, right, because you'll have the most. No. Now lads, just one thing, make sure your hand is coming from the outside in. Okay, not the inside out. You're just pushing your leg out. Make sure your hand is coming from the outside in. Lovely, we've done. Move around again, let's go. Same again, we can start picking up the pace. The only difference this time is, pick one of the other lads and give a little bit of a step off him here now. Don't hit him now, right? Not hit me yet. Step off him, right? To get the ankles and knees well warmed up. Okay, next one we're going to go into lunge. Very easy, but what we're going to ask them to do, high knee, drop, right, left at the bottom, and get on and jog on, right? So we're progressing from quad up to the hip, but now we're getting a bit of lower back in as well because with the rotation. All right, and just paddle on the toes, toes. Okay, now the reason you get paddle on your toes, paddle on your toes, is because I want you to listen, but I don't want you to stop moving, right? So, next step we're going to do, lunge, okay, big step, drop, twist, and jog on. Go, 3 each side will do you lads. Now make sure we have the flexibility to get big long step, drop that back knee down. Long step. Lovely. Right, left at the bottom only is all we want. Okay, what we can always do in this lads as well, it helps with the rotation because we allow them to carry the hold. Right? So when they get down, they're holding straight out. It acts as a bit of a counterbalance to be able to get that swing. Okay, you see some lads there, they mightn't have the strength in their core to be able to get the twist, so that when they get down, they're just getting Right, the head is doing the twisting rather than the actual body where we want it to work. Yeah, well, it's the flexibility. Some lads are comfortable putting it down, some lads will just come to here and just be able to twist. Again, it might come back to a flexibility issue with a quad. If they don't have the flexibility, it's not going to get down. Okay, move around again. No, we can definitely start picking up the pace this time now. 3. Jesus, that's where I've gone very quick. 3v3 star, jump star. Or 2v. Go on, move around again. Right, last one we're going to do sumo squat. So we're getting a bit of a squat in, but we're also opening up the groin. Sit down and come back out. Now, important thing, and this is lads love saying, right, staying away down the bottom. It's not applicable to the game, okay? So all we want is down, up, move on. Okay, so lads, pads on the toes again. Don't worry, you get a rest. Okay, so look, sumo squat, to open up your leg, sit, move on. Okay, open up the leg, sit, move on. Let's go. 3, just 3 each side we'll do again.
A spring up, Colin, is that correct?
Yeah, well we go sit and stand first.
Okay.
Alright, move around again, last time. No, this time we're going to do the exact stop. We're going to do the exact same thing again, except we want 2 each side, down, up, jump out of it. Go, 2 each side, go on the way down and come away back up. Okay, so instead of us going straight into the jump with their legs moving, be ready to give that bit of an explosive lift. Get them warmed up with a couple of the down and stand, and then we're going to go in. Okay, are we done?
Yes.
Beautiful. You can take a rest over there, lads, for a few minutes.
Done, boys.
We're only just starting. Okay, so even though it was just a warm-up, when we brought in the sumo squat, you can see a lot of variations, shall we say, in the squatting techniques, right?
What age do you start stretching at?
I get them going immediately, straight away. Like the minute you get them in, even with the group that we had last week, you know, maybe not the under 6s and stuff because they just won't pay attention. But 10s, there's no reason why you couldn't show them. I wouldn't even break it up into toe down or toe up, just hamstrings, quads, lunge, and a sumo. And the thing about the sumo, at that age group, the younger ones, it might eradicate some of the issues that we're seeing here. I mean, every one of them wanted their toes out. Now, your knee naturally wants to track your middle toe, so they won't get down. And what will end up happening is you compensate and your knees will come in, and we end up with this issue, okay? And it can lead to fallen arches, okay? Foot placement when it comes to agility drills, foot placement when it comes to runs, a lot of issues develop from it then, okay? So what we'd be hoping for is shoulder width apart. It doesn't matter if the knees are slight or the toes are slightly out, but if they go way out, we have an issue, right? At the start, how we can eradicate that is just tell them feet straight ahead because they'll naturally come out a bit anyway, right? And the last one, heels on the floor, right? So you see a lot of lads been going down and then, right, an awful lot of pressure on the knees, okay? So look, what I say on that is, if we just park that for a few minutes because I'm going to deal with all of that squatting technique and how we can just kind of get stuff out of it towards the end, okay? No, right, are you ready? You ready for a bit of work? Come over here, so stand back at the wall. Now, it might be an idea to introduce agility with your players like this from the point of view of, instead of showing them the footwork, showing them the foot placement, check where they're at first. It might be there already, it might not be there already, but you don't know unless you have a look. Right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the lads through 2 drills here, 3 drills up here, and then I'm going to show them some footwork stuff on the ladders, hopefully that when we go back into all those drills again, we should see a difference with foot placing. Okay? Get that on camera there, lads.
Best practice, bye.
No, first thing, can we just get 3 of you first, and then the other 2 can go in a minute. 3 of you, stand behind the blue cone each. And the rest of you lads, just hold up back there. There's only 3 blue cones. No, stand directly behind the blue cone. Right? Come back to touch there now, come back to small bit there now. There now. Right? Now, I'm going to call either right or left. If I call right, from here, you have to go right, get around your cone, and sprint to the first line of white yellow cones. You understand? You know where we're at? So if I call right, you go right. Right! Lovely, walk back, walk back. The next 2 you can get in. Behind the cone. Behind. Right. You went left. Right, up again. No, this time, like in the warm-up, paddle on your toes, be ready to move. Left! Okay, next 2 up. On toes. Left! And go. Alright, relax, stand back at the wall. Couple of things that were coming up, right, in the point of view of. Alright, first one, called right, they all were relatively good. They actually went around the cone. Okay? We called left, we started to get this type of thing. When we went back again, we were definitely getting straight over the top of the cone. Okay? So, how we can eradicate that is if we can see, right, the players either from a physical point of view are not able to do it, or just from a stubbornness point of view, they just will not stop stepping over the cone. We can just introduce it, if it's on the pitch, pole. Okay? Stick the pole down, they won't be able to go over the top of that, okay? And if they do, they'll be under serious pressure from other parts, right? So, get around the pole, but they're not allowed to touch the pole. So you might get them to go all the way around the pole, back around, and then we'll take off again. Okay? We could see, until I told them to stay on their toes, they all started flat-footed. Okay? Which meant when I called right, some of them wanted to go left, and some of them, the right leg took off before the rest of them took off. Right? So, whereas if they're on their toes, and their feet are going to be making this movement anyway, when I call right, it should naturally go right and start moving. Right? Just, I forgot to test my theory from above. Lads, just before we go back into anything else, 5V line across the line there with the blue cones. Now, what I want you to do is stand with your feet pointing straight ahead. Just go over the way of the cone there now because you run over top. Feet pointing straight ahead, shoulder width apart, about the width of your shoulders. Now, when I clap, you're going to race to the first line of yellow cones, right? Hey. You ready? Feet, you're, whoa, hang on a minute, no. You're changing your feet. Straight ahead, shoulder width apart. You ready? Everyone can step back. Now, if we just try and change that slightly, stand, feet pointing straight ahead like you started there a while ago. No, this time, I want you to be on your toes. Right? And I want you to be tilting your upper body forward, ready to go forward. Right? So, you should be hoping that you catch your body weight, right? You don't want your body weight to fall front way from you because it'll fall, right? So if you have our body weight going forward, look, see the way my body weight's forward, right? You ready? You ready for the clap? Right, you get this step back anyway. Right? So we try and implement it that they can use their body weight to get them going forward rather than relying always on their feet, right? You can relax again, we'll be going back to this. So now, we've started off very basic to get their feet warmed up. Now we're going to start implementing where they have to use their feet, but they also have to give us a bit of movement, okay? So, same again, 3, except come on the orange cones at the back. Okay? Now, you're going to be working up to blue, and either left to that blue, or right to that blue, and you look, you've yellow, and you've yellow out there. You understand? So now, I'm going to tell you what direction you're going to go first. I want you to sprint as hard as you can to blue, and then shuffle all the way across to yellow, and then sprint out in front. So you're going to go forward, right, and then forward. Any questions? Do I go there? No, you go to the right, sure.
You go to the blue phone.
Okay, so you're going forward, right, forward, right, forward,
We're
right.
shuffling down now.
You ready? Get across, get across, get across. Now go!
Well done, lads.
Next two in. Give us a look. Hang on, let's straighten that up there for you because you're all over. You're all over. Yeah, you cut the corner. Get around the cone. Right, next three in again. First three. Okay, we're going to go to the left. Now, what we're going to say, we're going to put a little bit of a restriction on it. You have to start on the right-hand side of the orange cone, and you have to get up and around the blue. Okay, next two in. Same again, start on the right-hand side.
One left, this side.
One left.
And James.
Lovely. Okay, and relax. Now, there's huge variation that we can put on that. Right? We can go forward, right, back, and then go forward. We can complete the square, up, right, back, left, and go forward. We can just keep it as going forward, back, and then sprint forward, depending on what you think is needed. Now, one thing I would say is when we're going laterally to the side, we'll try where possible to tell kids not to cross their feet. Okay? Because if they're crossing their feet, there's going to be one dominant leg. Right? Especially if they're going left and they're right-footed, their right leg is going to want to do all the work. Right? We need to force that leg that's leading to do the work. Okay? And the reason for that is it keeps everything square. The minute they twist, they're gone. So if something is coming from this area, so if I'm marking you in the game and I'm saying, right, I have to stay with him, ball might be coming from here. If I'm in the habit of twisting to go, straight away I'm limiting where I can be in the game. I'm also limiting the fact that if I have to go back to the right, and my right leg is here, I've nowhere to go. Okay? Whereas if I'm leading left and I'm shuffling, saying, right, I'm leveling it up, I can now react to go back to the right. Okay? So we're keeping our options open. Okay? Jog away up there, so lads, look, white cones on the white line over on the right hand side. Now, we're going to come back into this stuff again after we do the ladders, right? Because I want to see, can we implement some footwork drills in the ladders to help them getting around the cones, but also help them with their foot placement when they're moving right or left. Now, we're going to do a couple of things here now, right? First thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at mechanics of running, right? So basically, what happens with our arms and what happens with our legs when we run. So, straight line across the white. So look, you can go between that white cone and between that white cone, just straight line. You stay at either side of the hurdles there for the time being, lads. Go on, spread away out. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to march, right? Now, I want to see what your interpretation of marching is, right? So, you have to march out past me. So show me how you think you would march. In your own time. Okay, good stuff. Walk back again. Now, this time I want you to put more emphasis on your legs. Right? So concentrate more on your legs. Go. Good stuff. Walk back. Keeping that emphasis on your legs. What do you think now is going to happen with your arms? Where should your arms be going? Give us a look. Yeah. Let's go. No. Lovely. Walk back. Okay. This time, I want you to break up each step. Okay, and have a little pause in between. Right? What I mean by that is, if I'm marching with a pause in between each step. Okay, slight pause. Give us a look. Lovely, and walk back. And relax, just back there. Okay, so when I told them to do their interpretation of marching, majority of them went opposite arm, opposite leg. When we split up, I said concentrate on the legs. Okay, and the balance started to go. Once we said concentrate on the arms became very rigid. So the legs were still going, but it was, okay, very robotic. So now we're going to try and fix that, right? So now, we're going to march, no, we're going to do 2 more marches. March out, walk back, march out. So what I want you to do first is feet shoulder width apart, and I want you to pick a point on the wall straight across from you. Right? Keep staring at that point now. Now, I want you to relax your shoulders, right? Make sure your arms, look, nice and relaxed, nice and relaxed. Now, when we're marching, we're going to keep our hands open. Right? And the reason you keep your hands open is the minute you close your fist, you put tension into your arm. We want you to be nice and relaxed. Alright? So now, we're going to get an aggressive march this time by means that when we march, we're going to go up onto the opposite toe. Right? Keeping looking at that point and keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed, your arms should move nice and freely. Okay? So look, I demonstrate from this cone to this cone, and I go back as well to let it flow. So, nice and relaxed, my arms are nice and relaxed. Okay, my back arm is going back, you can see it. And we do the same back down. Nice and relaxed, picking a point straight ahead. Okay, you're going to go in your own time, nice and relaxed. Big swings, you forgot your arms over there. Okay, walk back, walk back, walk back, we go again. No, before we go again, I'm going to get you to do one thing. I want you to run over and touch the wall. Go. Lovely. Now, you didn't think about what your hands were doing there, did you? You just wanted to run over. So when you're marching out, don't think about what your arms are doing, because when you think about what your arms are doing, and none of you ran like that, okay? I'm not thinking about what my arms are doing. Okay? And there's one more march. Don't think about your arms, just do them. You're thinking about your arms because you're going right, left, left. Okay? Stand at the wall. Stand at the wall. Run back over, touch that wall. And relax. No. We could see once we broke it down, it completely played with fellas' heads, right? Because if we couldn't get the arms right, oh no, yeah, it's that way. We'd say, fake sure I don't need my arms, and they just leave the arms out. And then you tell them run back, and the first thing that happens is the arms come up to drive off, okay? So, even though it might seem, these fellas aren't getting it, if we keep at them, it might only be for 2 or 3 minutes as part of the warm-up in a session, it'll come together, right? It'll start to come together, because naturally they don't think about their arms where they're going when they run, but they go in the right position. When we break it down and we tell them, we're going to work on our arms, it's like, oh Jesus, like, arms, don't know what, we don't know what to do with our arms. Okay, so we need to keep them focused on the arms are just as important as the legs when we're running.
And that give you more power and balance in, is it?
Yeah. Like, and you notice lads as well, for some reason, they decide that I get more speed now if I put my arms across. But all that's happening is your upper body wants to go this way, and your legs want to go that way. So if we can get everything going in a straight line, so we want our arms, and it might be a case of, right, take the legs out of it completely, get them to stand flat-footed, and just get the arms moving. And hopefully, get the arms moving, get the arms moving, get the arms moving. Once the arms are moving, we can bring the legs into it then. Everything is in nice straight lines. So we might need to pair it right back, okay, depending on the players that we have in front of us. Now, we're going to keep with mechanics for the time being. Who knows how to do high knees? Show me. No. When you ran from the wall, right, wall to the wall, did you run like this? Did you? No, also get your arms going, come on. That's actually very hard to do. Lovely, lovely. Go and get those knees way up, way up, way up. Lovely.
Good man.
No. What we're going to do is we're going to have a slow race, which means whoever comes last wins. Okay? And I'll show you what I mean by whoever comes last wins. We go first. Now, we're going to work from this white line to that white line of cones. Right? Very short. Whoever comes last wins. We're going to go high knees. So our arms and our legs are going to be moving as fast as we can, but our bodies are going to be moving nice and slow. So for the first one, you're not allowed to pass me out. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.